Welcome to our Tuesday morning beginner workout. Today we're going to do one that I just made up called Strength Cardio Core. Well, I didn't just make it up, but I've been thinking about it for a while. So the format's going to be pretty similar to a lot of our other workouts. We're going to have 3 groups, 3 exercises in each group, 3 rounds. And then within those 3 exercises, spaced out there for a second, we're going to go into some more things. Within those 3 exercises, we have a strength move, a cardio move, and more of a core-based move. And I tried to make the strength move so we have an upper body, we have a lower body, and then we'll have a surprise at the end. Not too much of a surprise, though. Okay, we'll go in some side leans here. This workout is very modifiable for all levels, so based on your level, we can modify the exercises, and I'll show you some of those modifications. For these, I'm just stepping out to the side, and I push my hip out a little bit more, just get that stretch in the trail leg. It's a little bit of a dynamic movement here. And we'll go into our forward fold, so just pushing the hips back, curling the hands, front of the legs, hanging out there for a second, coming back up, stand up nice and tall, and pulling back on those left fingers. Arms overhead, hips to the right, hips to the left, lean to the right, hips to the right, lean to the left. That feels pretty good. Do that one more time, and when we stand up, this time we'll pull back on those right fingers. Down we go, we hang out for a bit. We stand up, pull back on those right fingers, arms overhead. Hips to the right, lean to the left. Hips to the left, lean to the right. So I have a chair here, hopefully you do too, or like maybe a couch, something. I put my right hand on the chair, left hand on the inside of my left knee. I'm just going to turn and open up that way. A little bit of rotation, a little bit of shoulders and chest warming up here. We can switch sides. We'll jump into it. I want to show today. Usually I show modifications for more beginners, but I'm going to also show modifications for if you're more advanced. Another way that you could do this if you're more advanced is just add a couple more reps and then try to keep time with me as I go through the rounds. So push-ups we can do any which way. The most important thing is I'm just going to do it from incline just to demonstrate the key point. Most important thing is that we have that nice straight line and we go through our full range of motion. So my full range of motion is all the way down, all the way up. Your full range of motion might be halfway down, halfway up. But we still want to keep a nice straight line from shoulder to hips and hips to ankle. Our step-ups, it's 8 total, so 4 each side. I'm always going to lead with my left for the first 4, and then I'm going to always lead with my right for the next 4. And then just try to use that opposite arm, opposite leg to control balance, control movement. And then last but not least, we have our leg raises. So leg straight if you want to make it. So this is the hardest. Leg straight, toes pointed towards you. Lift up. And then this is the easiest. Legs bent. Just lift the heels off the ground. And then you can go anywhere in between based on your level. Okay? So if you want to make your push-ups more advanced, you can add some explosion to them with adding in the clap. You could go to one leg. So here's another way you could do it. a little bit more challenging. If you want to make it easier, again, we can go to that modified position too from the knees. All right, the step ups, add some weight to make it harder, and the leg raises as we demonstrated, just the straightness of your legs. Okay, so without further ado, we'll get into our push-ups. I'm just going to go regular here. You can do, actually, I'm going to demonstrate the modified a little bit more for you guys. So just keep pace with me. We're going to do 8. From the knees, I keep that nice straight line. I still go through my full range of motion. But my pivot point is just my knees, right? 8. And we'll go into our step ups. So again, I'm going to lead with my left for the first time. Got to make sure I speed up some of those demonstrations. Then I'm going to lead with my right. There, and then 8 leg raises. As you can tell, I have a slight bend in my knee, and that's more from tight hamstrings than anything. And we can take a little bit of a break, grab some water. And we'll go right back into it. So I'll do the regular push-ups, and I'll probably show the incline push-ups. I'm not doing explosive push-ups, great push-ups, so I'm not that advanced with my push-ups. Okay. A straight line. Still all the way down, all the way up. Still perfect form. Our step ups for our cardio, leading with the left. Another way you can make this more advanced, so that it's switching sides, so that it's more cardio, is you could try getting in like 10 steps in the time that I do 8. If you want to make it easier, just try to do like 6 in the time that I do 8. And then our leg raises. So another way, if you're a super beginner, is you could just do 1 at a time, and you could do 4, just touching the heel on the ground, and then you could do the next 4 on the other side. And if you're doing the regular version right now, we're just going to do 2 more to keep time here. Probably because I was going a little fast with those beginner ones. So we'll take another break. And for push-ups, I'm just going to show you from the incline again, just to show you every variation possible. So we'll get going in 3, 2, and 1. So that nice straight line. And you can make these easier by using a wall. You can't get as much depth with a wall, obviously, because your head can't go through the wall. But it's still a really great place to start if you're that level of beginner. So you can go ahead with the step ups. I'm just going to demonstrate another beginner way we can do this. Is we can take out the chair, and I would call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just going to do 10, just in case the people who did the step ups are still doing the step ups. And then last but not least, we have our leg raises. And I'll just show sort of how you can modify this on the go. See, there's a straight one, there's a bent one, straight, straight. Get tired so I can bend. See, nice and easy to modify throughout. Excellent. So that is round one. Okay, so I am doing good on time. Okay, so our next two groups, I think are a little harder. We have our squat, so you can do these anyway too. I just like the push-up, right? I wanted to make this very accessible. That's why there's no equipment other than a chair today. So our squat, standard form, is feet about hip width apart, toes pointed out just a little bit. So we've created space to sit down. I push my hips back, chest stays lifted. I squat down from the side, hips back, chest lifted, squat down. If you need to, you can use your chair, right? Squat down. If you need to, you can use a little bit of a higher surface, right? Our walkouts, stand all the way up, walk down, walk out to that high plank position. If you want to make it harder, throw in that push-up, stand up. If we want to go easier, this is real easy, is we can push our hips back, knees, ankles, ceiling. That's like a very beginner. So I would suggest if you can, try to get one walkout out or just do those. And then our plank shoulder taps, we're in a high plank position, but you can also do them from an incline, right? So if we're going a little bit more beginner, we could just do touching opposite arm to opposite shoulder. Get to the front, that just looks like this. Nice and stable, right? So I'm not wobbling. Okay. We'll get started with our squats. And if you want to make these harder, I'll show you the more advanced version of the first round here. We can just do our jump squats. So this is a way to make it a little bit more advanced. We'll go into our walkouts. Nice and tall. Walk out. High plank position. Yep, that's one. We're doing four. Why I show all these modifications is so that you can make the workout your own. I can't feasibly see everybody that does this workout. We're going to our plank shoulder taps. Two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I can't feasibly see everybody that does this workout, so I want to make sure everybody has a little bit of knowledge or something they can learn from it. Okay, I'll show you the chair version of the squat, or what I would do if I was a little bit more beginner. As we go into our squat, again, I just touch down. I try to keep my chest lifted. Almost imagine like you're holding the baby and you're standing up from the couch, right? We don't get to use our arms for momentum, and we don't let our chest collapse, right? We stay upright. And an update there. The baby squats. All right, into our walkouts. You can adjust the tempo on these two. You want to go a little bit slower and do a few less reps. You want to go a little faster and do more. All up to you. Moving in the vertical plane is pretty challenging. So even if you can get one in, by the time I get 4, you will be improving. And then our plank shoulder taps. Another way you can do these is you can modify these as well, right? With going from the knees. So I'm in that kneeling position, still holding myself up. My lever is just a lot shorter going from the knees rather than the ankles. If you want to make those ones more advanced, just tap your shoulder twice or 3 times rather than one. And that extends the time that you're holding it for. All right. Last but not least, round 3 of group 2. We'll go with our squats. I'm just going to do regular here. Same principle applies. Imagine you're holding that baby. That'll keep your chest lifted. Seven, 8, and I'll do 2 modified of the beginner ones and then 2 modified of more challenging ones. So again, you can do hips, knees, ankles, ceiling, hips, knees, ankles, ceiling, or you could do a full walkout with a push-up. So I walk down, I walk out, I do my push-up, I stand up, do it one more time here. And then, like I said, you can also do your plank shoulder taps from an incline. Just widen my feet. And I might put my feet back a little further than what I would do my push-ups at, and that puts a little bit more strain on my core. Just be careful with your wrist, that your wrist is comfortable in that position. 7, still no wobbling. 8, and 8. But I'm still using my core to make sure I don't wobble. Okay, brings us to our final group. More legs. So with the lunges, they're just like the step-ups. I find for a lot of beginners, doing a reverse lunge is a lot easier for them. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a step back with the left leg first, and that means the left arm comes up. So I step back, and we'll alternate to make it a little easier for everyone. We still want to keep that chest up nice and high. Burpees are next. So I'll show you both versions. So we can either jump up, down and out, back up. So that's the regular version. The easy version is up, down, out, in, stand up, no impact. And the last version is all the way up, all the way down. So I come down into that low plank, or you could just lower yourself in a push-up, push yourself back up. All right. And last but not least, we have our dead bugs. And we're going to do these per side also. So that would be 1, 2, etc. So I extend, opposite arm, opposite leg out. Depending on my ability level, I'm either going all the way out to just about above touching the floor, or you're reducing that range of motion, right? And I usually reduce the range of motion in the lower body, not the upper body, just so we can keep our shoulders moving. Okay. Without further ado, we'll get started with our lunges. There's 1. Chest stays lifted. Take that exaggerated step back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and indoor burpees. Up, out, in, or up, out. 3, and 4. Okay. for dead bugs. I think this group is the hardest personally, but it will also go the quickest. 1. And if you want to make these a little bit harder, I'm just going to finish up here. 3, 4 for 8. If you want to make these a little bit harder, you can just extend out fully and almost do like a V-touch instead. Okay, that's round 1, group 3. Doing good on time. We'll go into our lunges. 3, 2, and 1. If you want to make these just a little bit harder, what you could do is all 4 on the left, then all 4 on the right. If you want to make them a little easier, you could use something to help balance yourself. I'm going to do just 1 more there. Okay, into our burpees. If you are an extreme beginner too, I'm not going to count this as 1, but you could also do your same thing you did from the walkout if you're like an extreme beginner there. Or you could do something like an incline mountain climber instead. It's still a little bit of cardio, a little bit of core, but certainly not as challenging as a burpee. Okay, enough delaying with the burpees. There's 1. Again, for the more advanced, I would go all the way down, all the way up. And then for the more beginners, I'll show you on the last rep here. I would take the impact out by stepping rather than jumping. So I'll show you a couple of those V-touches that you could do instead of the dead bugs. So you can still see similar range of motion, but certainly much more difficult. All right. Okay, just 1 more round. We're gonna survive. I know it's a beginner workout, and because it absolutely is. I'm working hard showing you all these modifications, and that's sort of the glory of it, is you can modify it to your level. So you can even come back and do this workout at a later date and just make it a little harder on yourself. Okay, so we're going to go into our lunges, 4 per side alternating. Over there. I didn't show you the view from the front, but I will on these last 2 reps. Just find a view from the side is much more information. And our burpees. Okay, and then our dead bugs. And again, I know like seeing a burpee in a beginner workout is like a little bit counterintuitive, but like I said, modify those to where you need to be to make your workout your own. No judgment here. You need to modify to the very beginning. I would prefer you do that and keep moving the whole time rather than sort of give up on exercise because you can't do the more advanced exercises. If you keep with it, you will be able to do the more advanced exercises in no time. And just like that, we're done. So we're just going to go right onto the ground and do our good morning stretch. So just lying flat. Arms are in a Y, maybe a V for victory. Oh, take our left leg and cross over our right. Bring our right leg towards our chest. And I'm going to grab my right leg, putting my left hand through the hole of my right hand on the outside, and pulling my left leg towards my chest. And we'll switch sides. There was a lot of lower body today. Good. All right, then we'll slowly get up for child pose. So pushing my hips back, drawing my hands forward. Now, arching our spine up, tucking your chin in, and then just bring your back to neutral, chin to neutral. Go into our half kneel position. So I'm going to step forward my right, left leg still on the ground, and then I just push my hips forward. And left arm comes up, and then you feel that stretch all throughout the left side. I'll switch sides here. This. See, my left leg is forward, right arm comes up. And then I just push my hips forward so my spine is nice and tall, and that just creates a stretch there. And you can see my right knee is not stacked under my hip, but it's just a little bit behind. That's where the stretch comes from. It's not a, you don't need a lot to stretch this area, especially if you have long femurs like me. Okay, excellent. Now we're doing on time here. We're just getting towards the end, so we'll do our door frame stretch. Again, if you don't have like a door frame or something that you can pivot on through the upper torso, just do that handcuff stretch. You bring your shoulders back and down, grabbing your wrists behind your back like you are in handcuffs. And we'll switch sides. Just bring our right ear to our right shoulder, and then I'm going to grab my left arm behind my back and pull down. And we'll go left ear to left shoulder, and I'll pull down on my right arm. Again, we don't hold this stretch for too long. Then chin all the way down, chin all the way up, chin all the way to the left, all the way to the right. And you just sort of shake everything out. That is our workout for today. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you have questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to leave me a message. And I'm back on the schedule Thursday, so I hope to see you then. Have a great day, everyone.